And we are live. Welcome to another Super Galactic Saturday. I'm Jerry Sr. with Jerry Jr.
Good morning.
And it's another beautiful Saturday morning. It's spring, and it's bright, and it's sunny, and it's also cool, and it feels good. Spring feels nice out here. So I hope the weather is nice wherever you are, and all the best to everyone and anyone going through any crazy situations with the weather. I know it's different for everybody, so all the best to you. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for your time and attention. And yeah, we're gonna, the headline talk that says we're talking about Angel Studios, and we know there's some recent controversy with the release of Animal Farm, which
Oh,
was an Angel Studios production.
so
And
I just want to say for context, because I've seen a few. I don't know how many. I've seen. I think we've both seen a few Angel Studios movies at this point.
yeah, we saw
Um,
David and all that. Yeah.
we saw David. David was good. I saw another one. I don't know if you saw. I'm guessing you saw Sound of Freedom.
Uh, you know what? I didn't. I wanted to. I never
Okay,
got around to seeing
I heard good things about that one. The one other movie I did see from Angel Studios, it was a post-apocalyptic uh, type of movie
it.
um, about like this family
Oh yeah,
surviving.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And because I remember they had like this contest where you could win like a survivalist uh, you know, vehicle and like some kind of homestead, I guess. And to
Really?
survive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was called Homestead. There we go. It was called Homestead.
Yeah, homestead. Yeah, it was like this
Yeah.
whole thing. So they turned it into this contest, to promote the movie. Honestly, I
Oh,
think it
interesting.
was a series, actually, wasn't it? Not a movie. I think it was like
No, it was a
a
movie.
series.
It was a
Oh, it was a movie.
movie.
Oh, it
The
turned into a
movie.
series. Didn't it?
What's that?
Didn't they turn it into a series?
I hope not because the movie sucked. The movie was
Yeah, because I
awful.
thought I heard that it was released as a movie, but then they turned it into this streaming series. And so,
Well, I really hope they didn't because the movie was awful. Like it was
really,
garbage. I hated it. I liked it at first. It was interesting and like the first 30, 40 minutes of the movie because it felt like an
yeah,
actual apocalypse movie. But then like towards the end of the movie, like they were trying to get me to like they were trying to get you to like they were framing the dad who runs the homestead as the villain because he was trying to prioritize feeding his family for the rest of the apocalypse as
yeah,
opposed to helping random people. So he
yeah,
was framed as the bad guy, and
of course.
the free thinking mom wife was like, no, God gave us enough food for everybody. It's like, yeah, that
Really.
sounds nice, but this is the apocalypse. This wouldn't happen.
Well, I mean, yeah, they can go out and get their own food then, right? Because it's out there somewhere. It's not in this house, right?
Yeah,
God gave
but
us
yeah, it
enough.
was. I didn't like it. I thought it
Yeah,
was stupid. It was
I'm
really
glad I
stupid.
missed it then because I did want to see it because I thought it would be good. Because I thought it was
No,
time considering what's been going on with the economy. There's a lot, it's always just been this whole. I mean, there was a reality show called Doomsday Preppers. Like it was a whole. So it's just been this sort of subculture of prepping and getting ready for the supposed zombie apocalypse, or, the economic crash, and um, so some people took it to extremes where
I'm
they
sure they
moved
did.
out of cities and all that stuff, and it's like okay, and so it's become this meme in a sense, and so that kind of movie, I was kind of like, oh, okay, this is seeing it from, I guess, from a Christian perspective, I suppose. So, that kind of intrigued me, but I just never got around to watching it.
I mean,
So that's kind of
it,
surprising that it wasn't, because I heard others say the same. Like I've seen comments online saying that it really wasn't as good as it could have been. Like the acting wasn't great, and some of the story, like you mentioned, some
I
of the
mean, the
story.
acting was okay. I think the worst actors were the teenagers because they didn't act like teenagers. They acted like I don't know middle
Host
schoolers.
about they're like who?
middle schoolers.
Middle school. Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah. So,
yeah, it was not
yeah,
good.
they have an interesting track record. But the latest one with Animal Farm, people were upset because they, finding out, hey, Andy Serkis was responsible for it. I think he wrote and directed it or something. And Seth Green, right, is in it. it
You mean
which that
Seth
in of
Rogen?
itself,
It's
yeah,
Seth
Seth Rogen.
Rogen. Yeah,
Yeah, I always say
that's
Seth Green.
another.
I always think of, I guess, Robot Chicken or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
yeah.
Seth Rogen is in. And that in of itself doesn't bother me, because,
No.
it can be funny sometimes. Like,
Well, that I don't think that was really the problem. The
like
problem
he
was
did
that
Donkey Kong in the Mario movie, right?
well,
It
sure,
was
but
funny.
that I don't think Seth Rogen being part of it was the problem. The problem was
Yeah, I
that
don't think that was the problem. Right, that's what I'm
they
saying.
changed it from being Animal Farm to not being Animal Farm.
Well, they changed it from being anti-communist to being anti-capitalist. That's
Right.
from what I've been hearing in some of the clips I've seen. That the general premise and themes of this movie contradict the original book and story.
Yep.
And that's really where the content. And it's even more egregious because it's coming from a company like Angel Studios that has positioned itself as, the implication is that they're more Christian and
Hmm.
therefore conservative, right? Like in the sense that they're not
Right.
going to be anti-capitalist, right? So now, granted, they've made it clear because I've researched Angel Studios myself for our own project and everything. How to pitch to them and all that stuff. So they do explicitly state that their projects don't have to be Christian themed projects, right? But they do want projects that are generally positive and uplifting, right? So they emphasize the dynamic of like tell a story that is going to be inspiring or aspirational or compelling in a positive way, but it doesn't necessarily have to have Christian themes in it or be a Christian work. So that is something they've stated from the jump, from when at least from when I discovered them, which was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Hmm.
So they haven't. If you read through their information, it does tell you, like, yeah, we like Christian, we're Christian friendly for sure, but the projects don't have to be Christian projects. They can be as long as they're just sort of a certain criteria. Like generally,
Right,
they
but
promote
obviously,
positive leading stuff. So
right, but obviously they recognize that well, A, most of their projects are Christian oriented, and B, majority of their audience are Christians. So it's like they can't really escape that at this point. And
no,
so when
yeah,
they
I don't think they're necessarily trying to escape that. I think the problem is what they present to the public, right? As a, so far as how they market themselves, and what's in the sort of the fine print is two different things. I think that's one. That's why I pointed out that they do state that projects don't have to be Christian. Like they're not saying every project that they accept has to be a Christian project. So I'm just putting that out there because I thought that before I actually investigated and saw, oh,
Mhm.
it's not necessarily like like everything has to be biblically based or church based or Christian based, right? Like you say, no, it can be stuff that isn't necessarily. It's just that they are more apt to it. Like they'll accept something that is objectively Christian, right? Like there was one, I forgot what it's called. It was actually pretty interesting. I watched the pilot episode, and it was about a guy who he gets killed, and but he's brought back by an angel, and he gets to see sort of what his life is like with his absence. Basically, it's a wonderful life.
So it's a wonderful, it's a wonderful life.
Yeah, but it's more
Okay.
it's more like gritty and gets real. You know what I'm saying? Like so,
Oh,
it's
okay.
pretty interesting. And part of it is it's not necessarily that. And I misspoke. It's not the angel. It's actually I guess Satan or a demon that is kind of taunting him, right? Like, and tempting him to curse God, and he's saying, "I'll bring you back," and he won't do it. He won't compromise his faith. That's kind of the premise. Basically, will he compromise his faith, reject God in order to get his life back? Because he had a good life, right? He had a wife, kids, a great job, all this stuff.
I
So,
see.
so that's kind of the whole point. So it's kind of that in reverse, like It's Wonderful Life in
Okay.
reverse. So it's it was pretty compelling. It's very, and it was the guy from I always forget his name. He always plays a villain. He was in like The Flash and a lot of WB stuff. Like he always
Hmm.
plays like a villain, you know.
Okay.
So and he's a great actor though. And actually, ironically, in real life, I believe it's been shown that he's a believer himself. So it's kind of interesting. And so here he is again playing basically playing Satan. It's like
Oh,
you know, yeah, it's like his bag, I suppose, but he's the exact opposite in real life.
yeah,
But
yeah,
anyway, so that's what pulled me in, and where I discovered Angel Studios. So was watching that pilot and go, oh, this is actually pretty good, and it's biblically based and all this stuff. Like it was really a great concept. So, but like I said, once you dig a little deeper, you start to read through their information, you'll see that no, they're not just this Christian group. It's more like we kind of just want positive things, right? That's kind of how they position themselves, at least on paper. But like I said, as they market themselves, you get the impression that they are Christian, right? So, I mean, they literally call themselves Angel
yeah.
Studios.
Or
So,
also keep in mind that the way they advertise themselves is that they're trying to be the antithesis of Hollywood, right? But here they are, and they come out with this unfaithful. Well, and to be fair, they bought the distribution rights, right? It's not like their movie or whatever. But uh, here they are publishing this butchering of Animal Farm, and the way they've marketed it and like responded to the criticism is the exact same as Hollywood. Because at the end of a lot of these Angel Studio movies, there's like a poll or like some kind of. They always put up this QR code that like, oh, donate
yeah,
money, or so you can buy a ticket, so you can pay it forward, stuff like that.
right.
Which apparently those don't actually work, but that's a whole other story. But if you choose no, like the movie will tell you, oh, or it'll send you to a link saying, oh, your opinion is wrong, right? Like, oh, and it's like, oh, you didn't like the movie, and they frame it as if, oh, it's the pigs telling you that you should like the movie, but still, it just comes
Wow.
off as
Like you're insulting the fans, basically.
yeah,
Like, yeah, you're being condescending to your own fan base, right? So,
right.
yeah, and I know. And listen, I became a what do you call it? I forgot what they call a torch person. I forgot, but I
Oh, you talking
have
about for the tickets?
no to review up and coming projects.
Oh,
So
okay.
I get alerts from the app, and it
Oh, okay.
tells me, shows me like basically proof of concepts or pilots, and I can watch and I can rate them and go, I like this, right? And I can tell you, I don't remember seeing Animal Farm at all in that because
Oh,
I
really?
get alerts all the time, and I don't always go and watch, because it is time consuming, you know. But when I do have the chance, I'll go and watch like three or four pilots or proof of concepts on the app, and they let you rate it, and they'll say, "Would you like to see this turned into something, to a movie or a show, whatever?"
Yeah.
And like it's a little survey, right? And I usually do that, especially if it's something really fun. And generally, I watch animation. I don't necessarily care about live action. So if it's animated, I'll definitely watch it. It's like usually it's like for kids, but there's some stuff that's more adult animation or just for everybody. And I'll rate it. Go, okay, this looks nice, or no, this didn't really move the needle. And but I don't recall in the last, and I've been a part of this for at least a couple of years. So I don't recall ever seeing Animal Farm presented that way. So I don't
Really?
even think they use their own process to,
Yeah,
sort of
that's what.
fund or
Well,
market. In
one
other
thing to
words,
point
even
out.
if even if Andy Serkis, which he's a big star, right? He's got
Mhm.
notoriety. So he can get funding. He can, so no doubt this project didn't necessarily need Angel Studios, right?
What is
So
the
far
thing?
as well,
The
let me say,
thing.
so far as it being produced. But my guess is that when they came in, maybe they pitched or some or Angel Studios approached them. But my guess is they bypassed all that stuff, like their own. In other words, my impression of that process where they as a angel, I keep forgetting the term, but basically you're vetting projects, right?
Right,
And
but
the
that's the
ones that
thing that
well, let me finish. Let me finish. The ones that get the most votes move forward, and then they go through a round of like funding and things like that. So you have to get past the screening process first in order for them to start saying, okay, we're going to help you like fund your project and get it off the ground. And like I said, I don't think they did any of that stuff. I think it was more
right.
like, we have this movie, it's pretty much made, we need to distribute it.
Well, that's what
And
I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna
okay,
say.
come on in. Like, because you have big names attached to it. It's a big name director and writer, and it's going to bolster their reputation as a production and distribution company. So
That's what I was gonna say. That is that the movie had existed for years at this point. I think like years before. I
yeah,
think they showed it at some like European film festivals a few years back.
so it's already done the film festival rounds and all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's been the movie itself. They just Angel Studios just bought the distribution rights,
Yeah,
so it
see, and
was a
that's what I'm
movie.
saying. So
Yeah,
this was a strategic move by Angel Studios to kind of say, hey, look what we did. We distributed this big time Hollywood production. Like, we were part of this somehow, because they probably expected the movie to be, I guess, way more popular than it actually is.
yeah,
that's
that was
that's my
that's
suspicion,
smart.
because it was attached to all these big names, right? You know, so that's kind of interesting. Either that, or it's a kind of a payola thing, right?
A what?
Where payola, like they do in radio, where they pay the radio stations to play a song
Oh, I
every
see.
hour on the hour. Why? Because repetition creates this sort of, oh, it's stuck in your head. Oh, let me go buy that record. Just like commercials. So no doubt this could be a situation with Angel Studios where, you know, Andy Serkis's production company came in and said, look, it did great at Cannes and whatever other film festival. We won a couple of awards. Let's say you guys, and I wouldn't be surprised if Angel's the one that approached them, and said, hey, we can distribute this. We got the channels, we got this, we got the marketing machine, give us a shot, and they're like, okay, how much? And like I said, it has big names attached to it. So it was like, hey, this will build our brand recognition and things like that, And so they decided to move forward with it, not even caring about the content, right? Like, this movie literally contradicts the values you claim to uphold. Like that's
Yeah,
the sad irony of it. So it's like, yeah, I think that's the case. It's sort of this opportunism, right? You and the part you were talking about with them encouraging their members to, because I've gotten those emails, buy an extra ticket,
hmm
and cite, in donations. And, it seemed like they had this crowdfunding model, right? Kind of like we funded, right? Where, the
yeah,
projects get crowdfunded, sort of grassroots, but only to find out they are a publicly traded company. And, they're not, this, they're not different from any other production company. They're structured pretty much the same. Um, and so it's kind of like, so why are you asking people to donate?
I don't
Just
know.
give people free tickets and write it off on your taxes. Like, it's kind of wild. So yeah, so it's a lot of things that I didn't know, because like I said, I'm not following that close to know all
Yeah,
these. It's like, man, so it was pretty eye opening to find out a lot of these things. Not to mention
yeah.
the law,
It
right?
sucks.
Like, they've been sued twice, right? I think one is still ongoing,
Oh, are you talking about like
in relation to rights and
the yeah the studios that left Angel? or the
Yeah, the
production
project, yeah,
people
a
that left
bunch of
Angel
stuff.
Studios?
Yeah, it's kind of wild. So and listen, I've had some minor experience with distribution companies and production companies, and my experience hasn't been net positive. I'll put it that way. It's
Uh,
it's it's like they are shady people, and they operate in very shady ways. And it's kind of, and you wonder why, because it doesn't make a lot of sense until you look back and you realize, oh, now I realize, oh, they were just trying to separate me from my money. That's really all it was. They don't,
right.
I don't care about your project. And that's the thing that's important for independent creators to understand is when you're approached by a publisher or a production company or distributor, and you don't really have skin in the game other than your project and
Yeah.
how popular it is or might be, you really can't trust them 100%. Right? It's you got to be careful, mind your p's and q's, cross your i's, and dot your t's. Right?
Yeah.
Because especially if they're asking you to put money up, um, to me, you probably shouldn't trust them. You know, because if you already put in the sweat equity in your project as a writer, as an artist, or both, or as a general producer, and you've paid writers and artists, etc. And so you have something, you have a pilot or a proof of concept or a book, and the publisher is coming to you saying, "Hey, if you give us X amount of dollars, we'll market it and do this, or we'll do that." Don't even take them seriously because if they see value in your project, they'll be investing in you, in your part. They're going to invest in you. They're
Yeah.
not going to ask you to invest in them. That doesn't make sense. Right. So just keep that in mind. And it's like same with Angel. It's like you're finding out behind the scenes they're taking like kind of excessive amounts of the donations that are given for these projects. Like huge cuts of that money, like probably more than Kickstarter ever did. A lot of people complain about Kickstarter taking huge cuts, right?
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
but it's at least with crowdfunding apps like Kickstarter or Indiegogo, et cetera, they tell you, right, like, yeah, we're going to take X%, you know, of every dollar or whatever, right? Like, going in, they're going to take a big cut, right? And not only that, but it's a crowdfunding, they're paying for the platform. And you could argue the same for Angel Studios, but the impression is that this is a production company that isn't here to grift and fleece, the projects that come through, right? It's there to kind of incubate them and help them to grow, right? Not to siphon the money from them. So, you know, it's unfortunate, you know. I hope honestly that they can survive it and hopefully pivot and do better, right? Like just make better choices and maybe restructure a bit, you because yeah, it's kind of crazy to hear about all this stuff, and then yeah, it was a bit of a shock to see Animal Farm because I'm like, man, this is like so far removed from what they claim to be their core values, right? So
Oh yeah.
that's what's like really disappointing, to put. And like I said, it didn't go through any kind of vetting process. Right? I, you know, I didn't see it on the app as something to review. I never reviewed this. I'll put it that way. I've never reviewed it. So
Well, I mean, if you didn't review it, then a lot of other people probably didn't either.
yeah, that's what I'm
Especially if you
saying.
came
I don't
to.
remember ever getting an alert saying review this and it's Animal Farm. Like no, I heard about Animal Farm on X, and that was really it. And that was the teaser I think they put out like a while ago, like last year or something, year before. So um, yeah, honestly I didn't know it was even connected to Angel Studios until recent months. So it's like, oh, this is an Angel Studio. Like, okay, this doesn't seem like it will be an Angel Studios project, but obviously I was wrong about that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it sounded kind of wild. I mean, so we'll see going forward, but I think, well, I don't think they care about our opinion, as people who are believers. I don't think they care. I think they're just building their company, and they want to be a production company. They want to compete with the big dogs because they see.
Right, but if there's someone who is positioning themselves as someone, because like they've like in interviews and things like that, they've positioned themselves as, hey, we want to be an alternative to Hollywood, right? If that's the case, they should care about our opinions because one of the things that's pretty consistent about, especially Christian audiences, is that they're historically pretty charitable, and B, they historically don't like Hollywood. So those are
Yeah,
things you should care about if that's something that you know.
but other than that, the irony is they're no doubt trying to compete with mainstream Hollywood, right? Which that was their business model when I first discovered. That was one of the things they point out. Like, yeah, we're not
Yeah,
like
that's what I mean. That's what I said.
But then you put out a mainstream movie like Animal Farm, which has all the mainstream tropes in it, right? It's like you can't make this stuff up, right? It's like you're doing the very thing you're saying you didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And so your business model, well, I shouldn't say it failed, you're failing your business model, meaning you're not following it at all by getting in bed with people that clearly aren't conservative and don't really care for the core values of this nation and the people that you claim to represent, right? So this is going to look bad on them. I think this could be the beginning of a downfall, right? Because if you're going to go and position yourself as being counter to the mainstream, then you have to actually be counter to it. Like you can't flounder and all of a sudden you're just mainstream, and you're espousing the same values and you're doing the same, you know, you're putting out the same dynamic that people are saying they don't want, right? Like people are already said they don't want a movie like Animal Farm, right? Only that's what's ironic about it being in these film festivals because it's really just actors looking at other actors' work, directors looking at other directors. It's like you're just pandering to your own community that share the same worldview that you do. So them
Right.
saying "great job," great, it doesn't really mean anything. That's why it always cracks me up. Once I started this, you know, going down this sort of twisty, windy road of trying to create something, be creative. It's like these awards they put on these movies sometimes. Like first place at the cons and all this stuff. Second, a lot of not all of them, because there's some like smaller ones, etc. That some that are way off Hollywood, that are legit. But a lot of these bigger ones, especially, they're just there. It's just like the Academy Awards or something, or the
Right.
Grammys.
No
Just,
regular people. Yeah, that's what I
yeah,
was gonna say. Regular
they're
people don't care about any of these award shows.
yeah.
Regular people don't watch
They
regular
don't
award
care
shows.
because the movies that should win don't win. That's
Yeah.
why. The actors that should be acknowledged don't get acknowledged. So that's why a lot of people generally don't care, and that's why the
I mean,
viewership
look how they treated K-pop
for the
Demon
last
Hunters.
decades. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Like that's why it's been in decline because people just don't care. They care less and less,
Yeah.
and it's only when they do certain antics or something that anyone pays attention.
Yep.
And it's the same with these film festivals. It's like, so what if it won cons or somewhere or it got glowing reviews? Who cares? You have no credibility, really, and your views don't reflect the general people out there, not only in America but even around the world. To be honest, right? It just don't. You're out of touch, and the fact that this movie was made at all shows that,
Yeah.
right? The fact that they took what's become a beloved classic and something that is quite relevant and becoming more and more relevant as time goes on, right? And they said, "Oh, we're going to change it." You know, it's kind of mind-boggling to have that kind of ego to think that you can make a better story than it was.
Yeah.
It's just like try to take Lord of the Rings and we're gonna reimagine it like they did with the Absalom series.
Well, they did do that, and it sucks.
That's what I'm saying. It's so ridiculous. It's like, what are you talking about? Right? You can't fix perfection. Like you can't. Right? It's already there. Just replicate it. Don't try to change it around. And that's the problem with it. and to have the audacity to even try that. But Andy Serkis, he's always been an egotistical person. I remember when he was doing Gollum, and he was being interviewed, behind the scenes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where he was doing the motion capture and acting out Gollum's motions and everything, even doing the voice. And all he talked about was himself. It was himself as an actor. Oh yeah, my acting and this and that, and I was, I'm key to this, and never acknowledging the technology or the skills behind the technology, like the animators, et cetera, the engineers that are making this possible. No, this all if it wasn't for my acting, right? It's like, bro, you don't need your acting. All we need is a great animator, and there's plenty of them out there. Like they could really animate.
Here's the thing: it's not.
It would have been just as good, if not better. And that's the part he doesn't get. And like he just thinks his performance was so, And listen, it was a great performance, right? But it didn't make or break the movie, But it's like his ego, man, is like huge. And so seeing that he was part of rewriting Animal Farm, George Orwell work, and, it's like, bro, I'm not even shocked to hear that.
He reminds me of the guy who played C-3PO, which is ironic because most people are kind of whatever about C-3PO.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know if you're familiar, but like he's a notoriously huge jerk.
Yeah, I've heard, and it's kind of like I don't know.
It's like, dude, it's not like you were Luke Skywalker, man. You need to calm down.
It's like when you're constantly doing this, people can't get close. They can't give you a hug. They can't give you a pound because you're too busy doing it for them. Right? And so they don't do it.
Yeah.
As simple as that. So how about stop giving yourself the pat on the back and let other people do it. And guess what? It'll happen. But these guys, they don't get that. So, and they have their circle. Like I said, a lot of these people live in a bubble. They have their bubble, and just constantly just bouncing off these compliments and telling you're so great, you're so smart, and they believe it. A good friend of mine used to say they believe their own press. That's really all it is. They believe their own press.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of tragic to me. We'll see going forward, but it's called being a guild member. Just looked it up on my phone, and that's the people that join and you become a member, and you get to review these movies and give your opinion and all this kind of stuff. And like I said,
I guess you just didn't have the right opinion, Dan.
Well, I guess. I mean, like I said, I don't even think they put it through this. It's just something they decided. Oh, we're going to do. And it's like, okay, it's going to be. To me, I don't think it's going to be a net positive. I don't think. Is it out? I think the movie's out, right? It's been officially.
Yeah, the movie's been out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how's it doing? As far as I know, I haven't heard any record breaking.
Nobody likes it. That's the thing you should take with. Nobody likes it.
Yeah, I haven't heard it. Anything. Like so far.
Yeah, why would you want to talk about it?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking.
People have only been talking about how bad it is.
Yeah, it's strange. So it's like, why would you put yourself?
It's got 1 star on IMDb.
Wow. Yeah, worldwide it's made $4 million. That's wild. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, if you want it to be anti-capitalist, there you go.
Yeah, right. That's the irony. Capitalism works. This is true, folks. It's like that movie that was produced by Saudi Arabia. I've been hearing about that. Yeah, they made a movie. They had starred Anthony Mackie and a few others, and it just I think they at least beat that, because I think that movie only made I don't even think it made $1 million, and they spent like $200 million. They had like $200 million budget.
What movie are you talking about?
I can't. I gotta remember.
Come on, Desert Warrior.
Yeah, I think that's it. Desert Warrior.
Is it this?
and
Um,
apparently it's bombed. Like it's, I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't know it was a movie that was out until I started seeing movie reviewers talking about it. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that was a thing.
is it this one?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I've never heard of
apparently,
this.
yeah, type after the name, uh, type Desert Warriors, and then type Mojo.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna go to IMDb.
No, no, go to. I like box office Mojo. We'll get to the point.
Oh, also, Mecha Missionary brought up a good point. You've been asking for more Cuphead style games. There was a first person shooter that came out called Mouse PI.
Yeah, yeah. I think I heard. Didn't we mention that before? Mouse PI. That sounds
We
familiar.
saw a trailer for it, but it came out I think a month ago.
Oh, it's doing pretty well. That's good. Is it on Steam? I wonder.
It should be on Steam, yeah.
Yeah, I'll check that. Mouse PI. Yeah, I
What-
think we
what-
watched that
Oh,
trailer.
Box Office Mojo. There you go.
Yeah. Let's see what the box office means. So,
Oh wow,
so yeah, not
that
even a million. So,
man!
so at
All that
least they,
Saudi money can't produce a good movie.
yeah, but at least they beat this movie right by quite a bit. So Animal Farm is not that bad, I guess, right? It's close, but
I mean, that's
Animal,
debatable
this one's
for
worse.
sure.
That's saying something. So, but yeah, it only made seven. Yeah, the last time I heard it was like 500, so it's made a little more money since then. So that was like a week ago. So
That's
but
pretty
yeah,
nice.
but the budget is like if you, I don't know if you can find it on IMDb. Probably Wikipedia will tell you what the budget was, but it was
I
like
mean, it's
50
not right
million.
here. Let's say.
Where?
Oh no, I guess not.
No, that's the box office.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
budget is I think it was like 200 million, but it doesn't tell you here. It'll tell you
$200
probably on
million. Oh no, it was 150 million.
150. Oh, okay, I was off by 50. My bad. I was on only 150 million. Okay, that changes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, considering this is Saudi Arabia, Dan, I'm sure they could have spent more money on the movie.
But still, 150 million. Come on, man. And it's
You
been
know,
out for a few weeks now. I think it's a couple of weeks. So that's
the
crazy.
more I look at these numbers, the more I appreciate Toho Studios and Godzilla, because that was a phenomenal movie made with what $10 million.
You're talking about minus one?
Yeah,
No, it was like 16 million. Or
no,
something.
the budget was everyone kept reporting $10 million. Hold on a second.
No, it wasn't 10. It was a little more than 10. But yeah, it was
Uh,
very low. It was less than 20 million. I know that. It was way less than like 20 million. And even 20 million would be a drop in the bucket for a big budget movie, like you know what I mean, like a box office hit like that was. And so yeah, 15 million.
Okay, it was $15 million. That's still
Still, that's nothing. That's pennies. 15 million or 150 million. Right, just add a zero, and that's what Saudi Arabia's, right?
yeah.
I mean, that's mind-boggling. And they produce one of
Okay,
the
yeah.
greatest Godzilla movies.
Wikipedia says 10 million. That's the thing. But
Oh, okay. So it's between 10 and 15. Still, right? That's are you kidding me? Like and they made something that looks phenomenal, right? Like Godzilla looks amazing in that movie, right? He
yeah,
looks real and grounded, right? Not to mention the acting's on point, the storytelling, the pacing, production quality. You go on and on. Right? And they made a black and white version, which is just as amazing to watch. And there's a sequel coming out. It's like, come on, man.
yeah.
Which they'll probably spend another 15 million, maybe 20. Maybe they'll go all out and do 20 million. Just,
I mean, they did make Godzilla super ripped. And
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So let's go out, guys, and let's add another 5 million. do some extra or something, right? Like
Yeah,
like this movie will always be profitable. Period. Always. Like even in the aftermarket, they're gonna make way more than $50 million on DVD, Blu-ray, streaming,
oh yeah.
merchandise. Like
I mean, it's
so,
Godzilla.
yeah, not even Godzilla, but because they only spent $15 million. Everything's gravy. Do you understand? They'll make
Yeah.
that like nothing, right? You're talking about typical movies. I think what was it? I think it was Friday, right? Produced, written, directed by Ice Cube.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, I think he spent way less than 20 million.
I mean, I hope so. I hope he didn't spend
maybe 2 or 3 million, 5 million, right? But he made 20, 30 million like opening week. You understand? Like so that's why we have like 4 or 5 movies, right?
Right.
Because they're low, but they make a lot of money, right? He figured out capitalism: buy low, sell high. Right? That's pretty much it in a nutshell. And here we have this movie shot in the deserts of Saudi Arabia or wherever for $150 million, big name stars, and it barely scratched. Yeah, I mean it's not even close to $1 million.
Nope.
That's crazy. That's insane to me. And then you have Angel Studios, and they're putting out Animal Farm, which is supposed to be anti-capitalist. I mean, communism, and it's promoting communism. Basically, it's socialist idea, and it makes $4 million. They got what they did, right? It's making pennies because you shouldn't have touched that thing. You shouldn't have touched it with a 10-foot pole. They should have known better. So
I mean,
they're not profit off of that.
Let's face it, they do know better, but they don't care.
Yeah, you're right. They do know better, and they chose not to do better. So yeah, they get what they deserve, which is nothing, because $4 million relative to how much they probably spent making that, it's nothing. Period. And they're not going to sell merch. No one's buying that stuff. Nobody. If they're lucky, it'll get watched on streaming.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It'll be on Netflix because Netflix, they love that kind of stuff. So it'll be on Netflix for sure. But yeah, that's pretty wild to me that they chose to even distribute them. It's like, why? But like I said, I think it was a kind of a payola. They thought they were going to get some big payday from it. Yeah. And it's like, nope. You're not. You're not. $4 million. No. They spent way more than that. It's an animated, CGI animated film. They spent at least $50 million to make it. Probably closer to $100 million. At least. Right.
I mean, however much they spent on it,
the first Toy Story was $200 million.
Oh wow!
To put it in perspective, and that CGI is dated compared to Animal Farm, right?
Oh well, yeah.
So, and you account for inflation. Yeah, they probably spent at least 50 to 100 million, 150 million. Not to mention they have named stars. They have Seth Rogen and who else? They have some other stars in there.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, regardless of how much they spent on it, the worst part is that they ruin a lot of the goodwill they have with their audience.
Yeah.
They're not going to trust them after that.
I agree.
Why would you want to donate, especially
I plan on getting rid of my app. And just forget being a guild member. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, especially considering that what's it called? The donating seats thing doesn't work. Like you're buying empty seats.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Real Fake Wizard. He did a whole video on it, and he went to go see the movie.
Yeah, he really broke it down real good.
Yeah, he went to go see the movie, and the ticket app showed that the theater was full, and then he went to the movie, and he was like, there was 3 other people in there. And it was the same thing for when we went to go see what's it called? the Apocalypse movie that was awful. Homestead.
Oh,
Theater was practically empty. It was me, my brother, my sister, and one white dude, and that was it.
wow.
That was all that was in the movie.
Yeah, it's and listen, two of the biggest projects, right? The Chosen, right? And David, they're not even part of Angel anymore. They've left under contentious circumstances, right? So
You gotta wonder why.
yeah, so it's like that's a big deal because these two projects are pretty huge, and they kind of help put them on the map, as a production company, as someone like I said, bolstering their reputation as being very Christian friendly, right? And listen, David was great.
It
So
was.
that's disappointing to hear that they were like, yeah, we're kind of.
It's not better than Prince of Egypt, but it was good.
No, it's not, but it is good. It's a
It
song.
is. I'm just saying, stop saying,
Listen,
not you,
Prince
but
of
people need
Egypt.
to stop saying it's better than Prince. It's not better than Prince of
Who's saying that? What person that's not smoking crack is saying?
Egypt.
I want to know. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's not better than Prince of Egypt. Even to this day, I can't think of anything.
Just
That's so far,
visually
it's like
and
animated,
storytelling wise,
biblical,
it has not been
epic
topped.
movie. Yeah, I haven't seen. I mean, the only thing you can compare Prince of Egypt to is the Charlton Heston Ten Commandments movie. Right?
You mean another classic movie from
Yes,
50 years
right.
ago?
That was an epic then, and it still is now. Like I'll watch that now
Yeah.
and still be like, yo, this is a beautiful movie because it is a beautiful movie. It really is. It's such a well-made movie. To me, it still holds up to this day as something that's just beautiful to watch, entertaining, compelling, dramatic. All the things you want in a Hollywood movie, it's there. So, and I would also throw in Ben-Hur, same thing. Like,
Oh yeah.
so it's
I need to fully watch Ben-Hur. That's the one I have.
listen. Ben-Hur is, just, and they've made other Ben-Hur movies prior to, but to me, this is the best.
I'm familiar with
seen
the
one.
history.
It came out in the 50s, I think. It was okay. This one is like chef's kiss. Like it's an amazing. You got to watch it. It's a long movie. Listen, it's a long movie.
Well, most of those movies
If
are
you
long.
watch it through Endgame or Avatar,
Dad, in middle school they made us watch Gone with the Wind. So
yeah, that's a long.
At that point, you don't know. It's like the sky's the limit.
That's Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur at least is exciting, fighting and all that. But it's a great movie, and it gives you an intermission. There's an intermission. So.
Oh yeah, back when intermissions were a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Ben-Hur, Ten Commandments, and Prince of Egypt. That like they're up there as to me so far as biblical epics. Like, nothing compares. Like maybe Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ. Like, throw that up there. That was an excellent movie as well. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't know who's saying that, but you're wrong. Yeah, I agree. Mecha Missionary is the best DreamWorks movie. Yeah. Even and listen, I like DreamWorks a lot. Like DreamWorks has done some great stuff with How to Train Your Dragon and Kung Fu Panda, at least up to 3. And Shrek, of course, Shrek one. But yeah, Prince of, and that was I think that was one of their first animated movies, wasn't it? The Prince of Egypt for DreamWorks.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of their first. So yeah, they really like hit the ground running. And that movie is just, yeah. Talking about it makes me want to go watch it again.
I know, right? It's ironic you mentioned Kung Fu Panda because apparently there was an interview with Jack Black where he complains about Toy Story 4 and how they should have ended it on 3, which is ironic.
Wait, and he said it unironically, is that?
Yeah.
Like, is he self-aware at least? Like he's.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because like, bro.
Either way, it's still funny. because it's
That's
like,
hilarious. I hope he was trolling. I hope he was
yeah.
trolling.
I mean, I doubt it, but
That's classic. Listen, I don't know. I know he got in trouble a few years back because was it him or his partner? I forgot. They said something about Trump. And people got upset.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
they were making an assassination joke on stage. Yeah.
yeah. Was that it? It was an assassination joke.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, but Jack Black is funny. I like Jack Black. That's all. That's all I want to say. He's a funny dude. One of my favorite movies from him is School of Rock.
I used to listen to Tenacious D back at
Yeah, I discovered
college.
them years ago, before you were born. Tenacious D was interesting. They used to have an HBO special.
Oh yeah.
Like, who are these weird white guys?
Who are these weird white guys?
They were hilarious. This was funny. But yeah, Jack Black is still. No, I'm not mad at him. I'll let it go, I suppose. It's like someone else. I think it was Mark Hamill recently made a joke. He did a whole meme. Like he created a meme of Trump laying in the grave. Like, what is wrong with these people? That's the part I don't get. Like they call it TDS, right? Trump derangement syndrome. And it's like, I suppose, right? But it's one thing to criticize, like people criticize Joe Biden, right? And they made jokes about him being senile old man, or creepy old man, or racist, that kind of thing. It's like, okay. And it's kind of fair game based on statements he's made, right? But I don't recall anyone ever wishing him dead or hoping that someone would assassinate him or physically harm him. I don't recall ever seeing anything like that.
Well, because it's all tribalism, and it's funny
it is.
because
But it's like this is a whole different kind of level where it's like, but you're like literally just wishing death on someone, like, and then you're making light of that, like that Charlie Kirk thing on TikTok where they're lip syncing his last words and pretending to be shot. It's like, what is the point of this?
Because Dan, you have to understand in their minds, they've already like in their minds, they've already determined that these people are quote unquote Nazis, and it's not because they actually believe that they're Nazis. It's because it gives them an excuse to dehumanize these people, and as long as they don't hold the same beliefs as them, in their minds they're less than human. So they've already determined that you're less than human. So they don't care. And it's ironic because it's like a lot of the things that they complain about Trump doing, it's like all the other previous presidents have been doing the same, if not worse, for years. It's like people
even the deportations with ICE. All that was going on under Obama.
Yeah, that's my point. And it's not even just the
deportation. It's never stopped. Like ICE has been picking up illegals forever. Like it's never not been a thing. The only difference now is the fact that it's being covered by the news. That's really it. Like, then people decide, oh, we're going to protest. That's the only difference. Like they have been rounding people up from the jump. Like it's never not been a thing. So it's kind of wild that people are shocked. Like, oh my God, Gestapo, well, this has been going on. Like they were literally pulling over bus loads of people back under, I think it was under Clinton.
Yeah.
Where they were stopping people and asking for IDs. Right? If you happen to be driving through anywhere in the Pacific Northwest or not Pacific, the Southwest or whatever, and you're, going through Texas or something or New Mexico, they'll pull you over. So you're 50, 100 miles inland, right, or more, and ICE is stopping you. It's like, what?
Well, that's the thing.
It was a civil liberties issue, right? So some people did sound the alarm on it, but the mainstream wasn't doing it. These were independent journalists, etc., that I happened to follow. Like you don't have to show them your ID and prove your, but it's like these tactics are questionable and this and that. So it's like this has been going on for decades, and yet because it's Trump now it's a problem, and that's really the key and the issue here. The issue is not whether you like Trump or you like Kamala Harris or whoever. Like none of that matters. Like it doesn't matter if you like a politician. What matters is the policies they stand for. What matters is what your government is doing as a whole. Policies that they're enacting. That like they just voted for some bill that's going to require automakers to put sensors in your car that not only monitor you 24/7, but it can shut your car off if the monitor, it's an AI monitoring system, and it will shut off if it thinks that you're not fit to drive. So if you get in the car and you happen to be crying because you just saw a sad movie, right? It's going to say, "Oh, you can't drive because you're emotionally unstable."
But
Right?
Dad,
You
aliens.
raise your voice on the freeway because you're mad that someone cut you off. It's gonna stop your car,
But
right?
Dad, there's aliens.
Yeah, but there's aliens. Yeah, there's aliens, and Trump is Hitler for some reason. You know,
What?
it's the most ridiculous nonsense. Like
Well,
the
Dad, I
energy
bring that
for
up.
you to get mad at Trump or to be mad at the idea of Trump being this racist or something. How about put that energy into stopping policies that are making you a slave?
Well, Dad, I
Right?
bring that up because nobody's
Stopping
going to care
government
about
from
that because
enslaving
they're too busy paying attention to all that leaked alien stuff. And
you.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's one of
Which
those things where it's like if the government is talking about one thing, it's because they're hiding something
yeah,
else.
it's not even that they're hiding it; they're just diverting you from something else.
But that's what I
That's
mean.
they're distracting you from what's actually important. Because them having footage of dots flying across the screen, so who cares? They
It's
haven't
like
done anything.
that's not going to make my bills less
They have
expensive.
revealed like we don't see them walking down the street and going to the liquor store and buying booze. Like, you know, who cares if they saw craft flying around? Who cares if the government acknowledges yes, there's alien craft or unidentified craft? So what? Like, what does it change in relation to you getting up, going to work, and earning a living and giving 40% or more to bureaucrats somewhere in Washington or somewhere in your state capital? And they take it and they put it in their pockets and make themselves rich and say, screw you. What does that have to do with that? Nothing. Nothing. It doesn't stop them from stealing your money. It doesn't stop them from enslaving you. It doesn't stop them from making policies like back in 2020 when they said your job was non essential. And so you couldn't go to work and take care of your family or pay your bills. Or the
Man.
fact that your rent is 3 times what it ought to be right now, especially in this state, right? But you want to worry about footage of dots flying across the screen and they don't know what it is.
Man,
Who
the older
cares?
I get, the more I appreciate Jill Scott Heron. You know Jill Scott Heron, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He did a song called "Whitey on the Moon," and he was basically saying the same thing, where it's like, there's crack in my neighborhood. My wife or my sister can't afford uh, groceries, but hey, they put a guy on the moon.
Man on the moon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like who cares? It's like,
Exactly. Exactly. Right. We just sent how many people? 4 or 5 people out in space, and they flew around the moon. And it's supposed, I guess, the furthest the humans been out in space, and they came back, took a lot of pictures. They talked to the president on the line, on an open line, and they landed. And guess what? I still got to get up and go to work and
yeah,
pay my and pay the utility bills. Like,
yeah.
who cares? It does nothing. You understand? It's
Yeah.
done nothing
And
for
it's
you.
not anything
It's
against like,
entertaining. It's interesting, but
yeah.
at the end of the day, you know,
It's like it was
exerting
cool.
all
It
this
was cool the
energy
first time, guys.
to protest something you have no control over makes no sense. Like the protest, law enforcement doing their job is ridiculous, right? It's like, stop it. go try to fix something that needs to be fixed, right? Focus the energy on things that need to be fixed, not these immaterial concepts that are being floated around by talking heads that don't care about you. They're just grifters, most of them. They don't even care about you, but they'll say, "Oh, the children, oh, the climate change." You don't care about the climate. You don't. I don't listen to these people. Bill Gates doesn't care about the climate. I'm convinced Bill Gates is an evil villain.
Considering what he did to his wife, yeah, that makes he is an evil villain.
I don't think he's a good person at all.
Well, Dan, did you not hear about what he did to his wife?
Oh, what did he do to his wife?
Well, according to the Epstein files, he he gave his wife STDs, and then because he was having relations with I guess underage hookers, basically.
What?
And yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's enough. I don't know.
Yeah, it's bad.
So he's in the Epstein files, and not in a good way. That's basically.
No, I don't see how you could be in the files in a good way. I feel like that's bad overall. But yeah,
it's crazy.
Also,
that's what I'm saying. Like they're releasing footage of dots flying across fields of buildings or something, and telling you it's aliens. At least they're saying.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like, how are they?
They can't release all of the episodes.
Yeah.
All the guilty people who are in those files. They can't release that.
It's
but they can release all of this.
It's so dumb.
Secret alien footage. Get out of here, man.
It's so stupid.
Well, the general public is stupid because they buy it. They get caught up in it. Just go online and look at your feed on X or Facebook. They're talking about UFOs. It's like you care less. Where are the convictions for the pedophiles that are in the Epstein files?
But they're aliens,
right? You understand? It's like what was that movie Up? Remember the dog? It's a squirrel. Right?
Oh yeah.
That's how it is. That's how the public is.
Pretty much, yeah.
Aliens, right? Even though over here there's serious things happening. Aliens, right? All of a sudden, then you have the YouTubers. They're gonna make 1,000,001 videos about alien videos. Oh, alien videos are a serious problem. No, they're not. They're just videos. They mean nothing.
Yeah.
What about Epstein files? What about pedophiles? What about justice for the victims? What about arresting people who are in leadership positions who are determining policies that we have to follow? What about holding them accountable? How about that?
Oh, we might see Alf, Dad. What do you mean?
We might see Alf. I already saw Alf. It was a good show.
It was all right.
Even the cartoon series was pretty good.
Ironically, I never saw the cartoon. I always saw the
cartoon was good. It was a Saturday morning cartoon. It was fun. Listen, Alf was big for a minute. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Tom Hanks is apparently in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's Stan Lee. I didn't know Stan Lee.
Well, so if I remember correctly, they mentioned
Interesting.
Well, they mentioned something about Marvel Comics. Not necessarily that Stan Lee was associated with Epstein, I think, but because there's a lot of names that pop in the files. Sometimes the context is, hey, this person.
Yeah, to be fair, just because your name comes up doesn't mean you're necessarily a perpetrator.
Yeah, because a lot of names pop. I think like the Flintstones pop up at some point. So I think it's just
not Fred. Oh.
You got, yeah, but yeah, I think you got to read the context of the actual papers.
Yeah, because I heard that I know Trump's name comes up, but I heard that it was in relation to an investigation. Like he was actually interviewed by the FBI
Yeah.
regarding Epstein and other people. So, as far as I know, that was the extent of his being mentioned. But
Yeah.
it could be
we'll
more.
see.
Than, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We shall see.
Yeah, it says his name's in it a lot. Yeah. So the question is it? Because I know I heard in relation to the investigation itself, because he was questioned years ago, but then there could be his name could be in it as a suspect too. So that just hasn't fully come out yet. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, we're so distracted by this stuff. It's like I don't care. I care about right here, right now, in my community, in my neighborhood, in my state. And we're fighting, So like right now, there's a mayoral race going on. There's a governor's race,
Oh, yeah.
and we got some decent people
The
running.
governor, it's so bad. No, Dad, you don't understand. One of the dudes, it's literally a bunch of foreigners and a sex offender running for like offices. I think governor. Like one of the dudes.
Isn't one of the guys a sheriff?
Yeah, there is one guy that's a sheriff. He's like the only person.
Yeah, he's the only one that's like viable.
Well, yeah, I think it's the guy. He lost his home in the fires, and like
no, that's for the mayor. That's for mayor.
Oh, okay.
Spencer Pratt. Yeah, he was like a reality TV star or something. And yeah, he lost his home. He's living in a trailer on his property, so he's running for mayor. So far, I gotta admit, I like him. So.
Yeah, but there's a guy who's a registered sex offender running for city council in Fresno.
Yeah, I heard about that. I did hear about that. Yeah,
that's like, man, we're cooked. It's crazy because I do have.
Hopefully he won't win. I mean, I guess he's able to run. Shouldn't he be on a list or something? So
shouldn't he be in jail?
Well, I mean, was he convicted of a sex crime, or is he just accused?
I think he was convicted. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just saying. So he did his time and he's out, but shouldn't he be on a list?
I mean, yeah, it's like, my kids are going to go to school in the city where the city council. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, I get it. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully he'll.
And he's talking about, we got to change the rules that stigmatize. Like, no, we don't. We don't need to do that at all.
Yeah, if he's advocating that nonsense, yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like there's enough issues locally.
Yeah,
I'm worried about some UFO footage, which they've been releasing UFO footage for years. Like, who cares? It does nothing. It does nothing for anybody.
Yeah.
All it does is distract us from what's actually matters. So it's kind of exhausting at this point. It's like, here we go again.
Yeah,
more
pretty much.
And everybody and their mom was gonna talk about it online and make videos. And like, why? Why are you wasting time with this stuff? See, if people ignored it, it was just a big nothing burger, they'll stop doing it. They'll do something else, but I'm just saying. Like if we were more discerning, collectively speaking, right, where it's like, yeah, okay, but what about taxes? What about national debt? What about these terrible policies, right?
You're asking for too much debt.
No, it's not too much. It's just common sense, but
it is. But
some people aren't distracted, but it just seems like a lot of people end up being distracted by it for some reason. They want to pretend like everything's fine. It's like everything's not fine. It's getting progressively worse, right? Even though some people think Trump's gonna save the day, no, it's just gonna get worse. So get ready. But if people take action locally, at least locally, it can get better. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I get off my political stomp. But Angel Studios, you're a disappointment right now. So hopefully you'll reverse course. That's my hope. But
I mean, I doubt it, but I mean, we'll see what
yeah,
happens.
because it's that seems to be the case with these. For some reason, this is where I think there's definitely money in it somewhere, like with these consultancies and different things. And obviously, there was government money, which supposedly they cut that out, right? So we'll see how that goes. But there's definitely some kind of incentive. I think some are just true believers, and others are incentivized through money or grift. But they just think there's value in subverting, you know, uh, core values,
Well, it's
free.
because of. I mean, it's because a lot of people think that they're, you know, revolutionaries or whatever, and so
I guess. I mean,
even though they're part of the
people
establishment,
people are. I think regular people are looking for a change. They're looking for a positive change, and so they think, oh, we tried capitalism and it failed, so let's try this socialist thing, right? And they're wrong because we haven't tried capitalism because we're not in a capitalist system. We're already in a socialized system, right? Because the government subsidizes and controls just about every industry, especially the major industries such as oil, gas, health, medical, right? You go
yeah,
on, right? Not to mention on the lower level, mid-sized and small companies, firms, stores, we still got to be regulated by the state when it comes to licensing and permitting and all these bureaucratic hoops we have to jump through just to open a business, let alone run a business. So it's like there's very little free market going on, right? Maybe in certain sectors you can point to, some type of free market dynamics, but the reality is most of our economy is heavily controlled. Just the fact that money printing exists, that's a controlled market. They're literally controlling the currency itself, let alone who gets it and who gets suspended and how and not by and how much it costs, right? So when the government's controlling prices like the price of gas, that's not a free market system. You understand?
yeah,
So we're not in a free market system. We're not in a capitalist system. We're in a this quasi socialist communist system. That's really what we're in. It's very little free markets going out there. Like you see it on a smaller scale in the independent space. Like you look at independent creators online, right? And that's the reason why they want to control the internet because through the internet they can,
yeah,
you can be a free market. You can be a true free market and buy and sell freely, and then crypto allows that to happen on an even larger scale, and it's global. So they want to try and, unfortunately, and unfortunately, a lot of folks will allow it because, in my opinion, they're ignorant. They don't understand what free markets are. So they think it's they think it's anarchy, right? Anarchy is not the same as free markets, right? And anarchy just means without rulers, so it's not necessarily a negative term either. But what we attribute to it is chaos. It's like it's not really chaos, right? It's just people cooperating with each other. That's really it. And generally, it's people who share the same values, right? If you share the same values, worldview, customs, culture, etc., then you're willing to exchange with those people, willing to buy and sell and cooperate. It really is that simple. So, but it gets kind of frustrating, you know, but yeah,
yeah.
that's why someone like Mandani in New York, he won the mayoral race because people are just like, well, we just want something different, we want something that's going to work, and he's promising, oh, what I'm going to do is going to work, which isn't working because it never works, right? It's like, you know what I mean? Like it's never worked because it doesn't work. That's why. So it doesn't matter who's saying it, how nice they seem, or how good they look, or how fun they make it sound, or affect. It doesn't work. That's why you don't want to do it because it just leads to more suffering, right? It's like he's trying to tax people more. You know, it's like eventually
I
there's no
mean,
one to tax. It's like the people who have money are going to leave because they have money to leave.
right.
Who's left? People that have no money, and you're just going to tax them. right? You're going to tax them and subsidize them at the same time, which leaves them with crappy solutions. I mean, crappy options, right? Because you're going to be subsidizing them with the bare minimum because you
I
can't afford.
mean, New York's been sort of a dumpster fire since the mid '70s, so I mean, there's not much.
Well, it's been bad, but it was doing it did kind of a resurgence under Giuliani for many years. He did a good job, like him or not. You know, uh, New York did improve quite a bit economically. So um, yeah, it hasn't been that bad. It's just in recent years because even Eric Adams, he had to deal with the pandemic, unfortunately, and he held the wrong perspective. I'll put it that way. And it wasn't until he got through it he started to shift gears, but then it was too late.
Hmm.
So he didn't have a lot of credibility. So that's why he's not married now, right? Because
Yeah,
he came off as wishy washy. You know, so that's really the problem. I mean, hopefully, maybe if he can build up his credibility more over the next few years, he can rerun, right? Because I like him. He seems like a decent person. I just
right.
think he was straddling the fence and he leaned heavily leftward, right? Because maybe that favored him because he was under Biden, all that kind of stuff. And then when Trump got back in office, he tried to lean more right. That didn't really help him. It's a flip flop, right? It's like, oh, you're not consistent, right? So it's unfortunate. Um,
So he's a
yeah,
politician.
yeah, it's
I mean,
politician.
that sounds pretty normal.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's par for the course. Right? So, but
Yeah,
yeah, it
but
is what it is.
yeah, but to divert away from politics for a bit, I wanted to bring this up because it's made the rounds online, and it reminded us something that we talked about earlier. We were talking about anime and stuff like that, and people just not understanding anime or whatever. And for the record, I am familiar with CBR. I think I had a friend who did some stuff for CBR. Um, but yeah, overall, the general consensus is they're pretty trash. But this one, I've never read any of the articles, so I didn't know how trash it was. But now I understand how bad
Yeah,
it is. This
CPR
has to be
is garbage for
the
this one.
worst list that I've ever written. And I've seen, but yeah, the five most unwatchable classic '80s anime. So, anime industry would be a very different place with today without some formative innovations and trends ushered during the '80s. Blah 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 blah. Some of the most celebrated '80s anime include Mosu Gundam, Zeta Gundam. What?
I'm not even a Gundam fan, and I know better than that.
If you talk to any, okay, one of my best friends from high school is a huge Gundam fan, and he'll tell you how much worse Zeta Gundam is to the original series. But I
I
digress.
wish your brother was here. Because he's a big time Gundam.
Oh yeah,
I take
well
both of
he likes G Gundam. We both like
He
G
likes
Gundam.
G Gundam. That's right.
Yeah,
So
but alternatively, there are many '80s anime that were heralded at the time of the release, but are now quite clearly heavily flawed products of their time. And what's the first name on their list? Fist of the North Star. I'm not listening.
of course,
You've lost all credibility right off the bat. Where's Kiniku? Did you maybe say Kiniku Man? Oh yeah, they bring up Kiniku Man. Now now I like Kiniku Man, but I'll touch on that later. But yeah, Fist of the North Star. Fist of the North
80s
Star.
energy has fallen out of time. Get out of here with that.
Here's the thing. A
So,
lot of
so
the people.
he hasn't watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Well, I mean, yeah, but here's the thing, and I always, this has been true for a long time, is that a lot of people who talk about Fist of the North Star that are like my age or younger that haven't watched Fist of the North Star. They've seen the memes online because they've seen the "you're already dead" and then they explode, which is cool. That's one aspect of Fist of the North Star. They don't talk about the sadness. They don't talk about the beautiful soundtrack. They don't talk about a lot of the surprisingly Christian themes in Fist of the North Star. I mean, there's a whole arc. I mean, the whole shoe arc is just an allegory for Christ. He literally carries a cross and dies. It's crazy, but yeah, there's so much. There's so much you can talk about Fist of the North Star, but all of this boils down to is the anime industry would be very different if Fist of the North Star did exist. But it's a title that works better for the change that it caused the industry than how well it holds up overall. The series follows Kenshiro, yada yada yada. Yeah, Fist of the North Star has zero interest in subtlety. Good. Subtlety is for the weak, which is, I mean, it's which was exciting in the 80s. Now that kind of violence feels gratuitous. Yeah, so it's just talking about the violence. And everybody everybody talks about the violence in Fist of the North Star. That's not like anything new.
But even talking about that misses the point of it.
Yeah, it's like
talk about it being excessive or something over. It's like then you're completely missing what it is, like what's happening in the story itself, right? It's like when I hear criticisms of violence in anything, but especially in movies and TV shows, it's kind of like, well, okay, but the question isn't about whether there's violence. The question is it necessary for telling the story? Is there a dynamic that's being played out that lends itself to the story, right?
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. The Fist of the North Star does that, right? It's like the violence isn't something that's just there just for spectacle, right? It's part of the narrative and it's part of who the character is. Most of the characters are, right? It's also about masculinity and manhood and embracing who you are and dealing with the harshness of the world, right? So it's like, but you miss all those things if you just focus on, oh, it's just too violent. It's like, well, it's like, why are you watching it? It doesn't, but to criticize it as if it's somehow, like, sure, it's outdated because it's old. It came out decades ago, right? But it's still relevant, right? Just because something is older or even dated in the sense of the time period it came out, when you're looking at character designs and things like that, doesn't mean it's not relevant, right? And I think that's why I like CBR, which, like I said, they're a dumpster fire. I really don't like CBR. I think there's a reason why they're pointing to the 80s specifically. It's because there is this sort of perspective they're trying to propagate that somehow these objectively good things from the 80s, which they are, right, are somehow bad now because values have changed.
Well, yeah, I want to point out
really not reality right now. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, and you're absolutely right. But I want to point out, here's Kinnikuman. I want to point out that most of the animes on this list are like it's the hyper masculine, shonen,
right? And they're also classics. They're also well loved.
Oh yeah,
they're also well loved and beloved.
Space Adventure Cobra is just like it's like Han Solo meets Lupin the Third. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's very based. It's actually really fun to watch.
Yeah. I showed you Kinnikuman. Now, with Kinnikuman, it's funny. It's funny how he talks about how out of date it is, but he fails to bring up the fact because Kinnikuman, there was an episode of Kinnikuman with blackface in it, and I'm surprised he didn't bring that up. Probably because he didn't want to, get canceled. Probably. But like that, if that was the one, that's like the one thing you could have mentioned. But overall, it's like people still, at least in Japan, Kinnikuman is still inherently loved. And this is another thing I think people have to understand, because you get a lot of people who are like they need to make anime more diverse, this and that. It's like anime is made for Japanese people.
Yes.
It's not made for you. It's a privilege that we get to watch anime.
I agree with that.
You know, and so it's like
inspired and encouraged and influenced by Japanese lifestyle, culture, worldviews, history, etc. Now, some anime is inspired by Western history and Western values, right? Um, you know, like Vinland Saga, right? That, you understand? But it's still made by Japanese artists and writers, right? It's like, and it's like if you seeing how popular it is, seeing how well received it's been around the world. Why do we need to change it? We don't, right? Because what they've been doing works. So why would you need to change it? You don't.
Mecha Missionary, which one you said inspired Devil May Cry? Which one were you referring to? But yeah, you're absolutely right. You don't need to change like the things that made Japanese unique, may have made Japanese media or anime unique or even controversial is what made it, popular. Cobra? Oh, that doesn't surprise me actually. Okay. Considering I wonder did the game developers cite Cobra as an influence? It wouldn't surprise me just because Dante, he's a gun-touting, sort of laid-back, womanizing type of character, so it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's Lupin the Third. It's what City Hunter comes to mind. It's a lot of the same type of character,
yeah.
But yeah, it's funny because because it mentioned 5. And I would say the only one you can make an argument against is maybe Kinnikuman, just because I've seen Kinnikuman.
I disagree.
He said no.
100% wrong. Whoever this writer is, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I think his reasons are bad, but as someone who has seen it, Mr. I block you on Twitter for talking English. Who's that, Mr. I block you? Yeah, I was about to say Kinnikuman did do blackface, so obviously I think you wouldn't be able to.
You didn't even mention it.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, he did.
I did. He didn't.
He did.
That's the point I was making. He didn't.
He's wrong.
Yeah. So that tells me that he didn't watch the show.
Yeah, but it's there to make these articles are here to make you think it's trolling. That's all it is. There's no substance behind it. It's not real, right? None of these anime are wrong or bad or irrelevant or, the only thing you argue is that they're dated. And they're dated because, they were made in a different decade, right? But they still have a place and they're still relevant, right? They're still, if you watch them today, you're still going to go, oh, yeah, I feel that. Like,
I mean, we watch.
You're not going to go, what are they talking about? Like, it's nothing like that remotely, right? So,
I mean, we watched the first anime or the first episode of Kinnikuman for the stream or for video, and we were like, oh yeah, Kinnikuman's based,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it's not for blackface. It was a really good first episode. And it's like they really made you. They did a good job of making you really like the character, And Kinnikuman, let's keep like Kinnikuman. Without Kinnikuman, you wouldn't have Dragon Ball. Like this was like the first major
that's fair.
Fighting
influence.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Yeah, it's like get up.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Mechanary.
Unwatchable. It's like,
Rats and Star is the name of the band. I'm familiar. They're a doo-wop. They're a doo-wop group.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I showed you the band once. That it was like they were like a doo-wop. They were basically like Shana Na. If you remember Shana.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like I mean but it's like I could have a conversation about it because I've actually seen the show. So like I could probably give a better critique of these shows than this guy. Listen, it's like you know it being a what's it called online journalist. You know, it's like
quote unquote.
it pays the bills, I imagine, but you get the sense that a lot of these people.
Not for long. These companies are going out of business.
Well, I mean, they're going out of business for a reason. It's because people don't take them seriously anymore,
Yeah.
and a lot of them
because of articles like this.
Yeah, and on top of that, a lot of them are being were being held up by investor money, or whatever.
Yeah, they're just hedge fund babies.
Yeah,
they weren't actually profitable. They were never profitable. So
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, that's why I don't take them seriously. I'd rather just watch a random YouTuber and just get their opinion.
I mean, pretty much.
Generally, it's going to be someone who is a fan. And they're just going to. It's their opinion. It's like, all right, whatever.
Well, better yet, just go watch the anime yourself. Because I'll be honest, a lot of the anime YouTube space has been taken over by people that don't actually care about anime. There's this whole thing about what's it called? What's his name? Logan Paul. Like he bought an issue of the first issue of One Piece, the Shonen Jump issue, and now it's worth a lot of money and stuff like that. And now he's
he bought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big nothing burger, but you also have a lot of YouTubers. I don't know, but you also have a lot of YouTubers who are into. They talk about anime, but they don't necessarily appreciate or respect Japanese culture.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad because it's like it's one of those things where it's like I felt better as an anime fan when it was still niche, and because I don't know, it was just a lot. Like nowadays, it's just a lot of people who they're only
they're following the trend, right? They see.
Yeah, I guess that's.
Well, I watched that one anime at one time, so I can talk about this other one.
Yeah, it's like I've been saying. It's like watching. It's like there's more to anime than just Shonen Jump and battle anime.
A lot more. Anime is something that is there's something for everyone.
It's a medium and not a genre.
Yeah, it's a medium.
It's.
But I think a lot of people mistake it for a genre, like just animation, or like I remember someone was telling me I hate animation. I'm like, why? Why do you hate it?
What?
I don't like it. But see, I realized this person just had a certain picture in their head of what. In other words, they saw something they didn't like that was animated, and they go, "Oh, I hate animation." But they think animation is just anything animated. Like it's whatever they pick that experience. It's like someone that goes, "I hate black people," because they got mugged by a black guy one time, right? And it's like, well, yeah, that guy you should hate because he mugged you, but he's not a representative of all black people on the planet, right? That's idiotic. But unfortunately, that's how a lot of people think. You understand? They don't differentiate and just go, well, all of them are bad. It's like, well, no, that guy was bad, right? It's the same thing. That one movie or show you saw was bad, but that's not reflective of all of it. That's not even logical, right? It's like watching a bad movie and go, I hate movies. It's like, what? Like, you watch one movie. What are you talking about? So it's like they haven't seen something they like or that's resonating with them. Therefore, they just dismiss it outright.
Well, I think
Yeah,
the
they
problem is
do
that
like
when like
they do like something like an anime, and they like that one anime, but they think all of anime is like that one anime, and so they go,
yeah
"Oh, I'm an anime fan. I love anime because I like this one anime." Because they haven't watched bad anime, and there is bad anime. Right? There's anime
oh
that's like, yeah, that's not very good. But they haven't seen that. They just watched that one show or that one movie, and they think that's reflective of all of anime.
yeah yeah
That's a problem too. you know, it's like no, like every anime is different and distinct, right? They have their own hook, their own themes, and some are similar. Sure, you're gonna have similarities, but you have to kind of judge it kind of on its own. You know, like and generally they fall into categories, but not always. Sometimes they fall outside of the typical categories that you're used to seeing in the popular sphere. Like I said, like I always think about Monster. Like that's not a typical anime, right?
no
Um, but that anime would fit very well in a sort of mainstream Hollywood type of dynamic, right? And generally, people who are non-Japanese and non-anime people could watch that and actually get into it because it's a mystery, murder mystery thriller, with some supernatural elements, right? So you understand what I mean? Like
hmm
it's not what people would think anime is, right? But it is an anime. It's part of the meaning. So and that's just one example. There's countless others that are similar. You know, but yeah, I think that's kind of the problem. Both extremes are a problem, right? And so it's like, but at least the one extreme where it's like I saw this one and I like it. At least they're going in the right direction, saying I like anime. And then they just have to learn that okay, there's more than just that, right? There's more than just Shonen Jump, right? Or that
yeah.
one Shonen Jump that you watch. There's more than it, right? So that's the key, is to know that there's more.
I think a big part of it is because it's become so mainstream. It's I don't know. It's like people's perception of anime usually gets bogged down by, you know, what we call tourists. Like I just brought up the guy who did the Castlevania anime
Yeah,
or the you know anime. If it's not made in Japan, it's not anime. But
right.
um,
But it's definitely influenced, like Star
right,
Wars.
there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just it's easier to just
No,
say anime.
yeah. It's
But
like Avatar.
yeah. But the guy who made the Castlevania anime, he also worked on Devil May Cry. He also did the Devil May Cry anime, and it's this kind of the same issue with video games too, where uh, it's like you could tell these people don't actually care about anime or video games. But Adi Shankar, there we go. I believe that's his name. But I remember seeing the trailer for the Devil May Cry show, the Netflix one,
Yeah,
and like he was like, "Hey, I'm Adi Shankar. You may know me from Castlevania," and like he pulls out like an NES cartridge of Devil May Cry and like puts it into and it's like Devil May Cry was not for the NES. It came out on the PlayStation 2. Why wouldn't you just get a copy? Because I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to do the thing where the video game comes to life,
mm,
but it's like Devil May Cry wasn't on the NES. Like how hard it would have been to just get a PS2 and a copy of Devil May Cry and do the same effect.
right.
But because you want to look like, oh yeah, we got to show them that we're real gamers. So we got to pretend to be retro. Like it was stupid.
Yeah,
And so it's like a lot of the people who come into these spaces, they're, I mean, and this is at this what's it called? uh, this article's evidence of that. It's like they come into these spaces and they're just so out of touch, and it's like it gets frustrating, and it's like instead of like acknowledging the fact that hey, you don't know what you're talking about, they'd rather call gamers and anime watchers toxic or whatever because they don't want to acknowledge, you know, they're wrong.
Yeah, yeah, that is annoying because for a lot of people, and this is the reality to realize to understand. That is, for many of these people, it's a job. It's not their passion. Not, it's a job. It's a way for them to make money, and that's fine. But I think for them, it's like, look, you gotta if you're gonna do this, go all in. I think that's really kind of if you're gonna do it, go all in. Go, you know, 100%. And that means, yeah, like you said, making that extra effort to do a little research and go, oh, let me find out, what the deal is. You know, because it's like, yeah, when you start seeing that, and you're like, yeah, all right, you know, I know what you're trying to do, but it's falling flat because it's clearly not authentic, right? You know, so yeah, um, yeah, it is frustrating, but I mean, it's been happening all over in Hollywood and everything. It's like you have these actors and directors, in some cases, writers, and it's like they don't care. They're not willing to make the effort to at least present themselves as if they care. You know, that's really it. It's fine to understand. It's like I always think about that movie Galaxy Quest, right? With Tim Allen, and at the beginning you
Oh
have
yeah,
the nerds kind of harassing the
yeah, yeah. I remember that.
they're like asking all these very specific questions about the ship. He's just like okay, like it's not real. Right? He eventually just kind of, you know, unleashed them. Like it's not real, guys. Like, what? So, you got kind of annoyed, and
Yeah.
it's funny because I'm like, yeah, it's understandable to a degree. It's like, yeah, I understand that. Like,
I mean,
it's
yeah, some people take it too far, but that's no
right.
reason to.
So that's so rare. It's not as common as they try to make it seem.
Yeah,
When a fan is just saying, "Hey, just you know, act like you want to be here."
yeah,
that was really the issue. Wasn't that uh, the fans were too fanatical? It was the fact that he didn't want to be there, and it
right.
kind of showed. Right, he just wanted the spotlight. And the rest of the crew was the same way. Right? They didn't want to be there, right? But they had to because they needed the money. You see what I mean? And it's like
Hmm.
that's the balance you have to strike. In reality, is yeah, don't really want to be here, but let me go ahead and put on a happy face. Let me at least try to make the most of this experience so that the fans will get something out of it, right? And hopefully they keep this thing going, right? You know, when they drop the next series or whatever, next movie, right? So that's why you see, like, you look at Disney Marvel, as much as we don't like a lot of what they've done, one thing they do get right is the marketing, right? They try to get everyone on board. They show up at the
Hmm.
con. It's like that's how you do it. So but they got a lot of money behind it too. That helps.
Yeah, that's true.
So
But yeah, that's like yeah,
I don't know.
Afrocentric's right. It's like saying Lord of the Rings is unreadable because it's old. It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
regardless, it's just a North Star. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like these articles are just there to kind of be rage bait, you know, because people go, oh, what are you talking about, right? Which is okay, whatever. But to me, it's the same like what we're talking about now. It's insincere. So he really doesn't believe they're unwatchable, right? I don't think he believes anything he said in this article. It's going to get clicks. It's going to get people talking about it like we're talking. And that's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of scummy,
yeah,
and that doesn't last. There's no substance behind it. So, because it's not fans arguing about their favorite things and going back and forth, right? Like I remember when I was young, we used to argue about who can beat Superman, you know, or
Mhm.
who can beat Batman, who can beat Voltron, that kind of stuff, right? And we're throwing everything at the kitchen sink, right? Just, nah, you can't do it, right. That was fun, right? That's what fans want. They want fun, right? We don't want to have to actually seriously debate and tell you like you're a moron if you think that Fifth of War Star is unwatchable. You are a lying piece of you know what. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, stop using this hyperbole, and it's so insincere. That's the point, right? Don't bait me, bro. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
what makes it annoying. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, but yeah, that seems to be par for the course on the internet. So, social media specifically, you got to bait and switch, boys. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But look, that's kind of all I have today. You have anything else you want to bring up?
No, I just wanted to bring up the article just because it just reminded me of the conversation we had last week. So there
Yeah.
was a few trailers that dropped for. I guess they're making a new Pac-Man. Uh, they're making a new Pac-Man show. It looks bad, so I'm not going to show it. It looks
Well,
like
okay.
a big.
Is it like the one on that came out with the other anthology?
No, no, it's not. Well, yes and no. It's
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah, with the Pack family and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean they show
No,
like
one where he ended up getting eaten by the anthology.
oh the
It's
Netflix
on
one.
Amazon. Yeah, no, it's
No, oh yeah
not.
the anthology one. No,
Yeah.
that's the funny part. It's nothing
Okay.
like that. It's
Okay. Well,
actually just
that's a
it's.
plus.
You said
That's a
what?
plus. I said
Oh
that's a
yeah, it is a plus. No, it's actually more. It looks like it's trying to be the one from the '80s,
okay.
except you know,
That's a
it's
plus.
somehow
Also,
more obnoxious.
okay. I'll see.
Yeah.
Is it
So
like Family Guy kind of feel to it or something?
no, it's not that. It's just it doesn't. I don't even think it knows what it's trying to do. That's the thing about Pac-Man. Nobody knows what to do with Pac-Man.
How about we
Uh,
just make it Pac-Man what it was already in the 80s?
right,
How
but
about
Dad, Pac-Man is a show. It is. It's only 4 minutes, but
that?
so look, it's got the Pac.
Wait, so is this a game? This is a game.
Get
No,
lost.
this
Oh,
is
this is
a
a
this is a TV show. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, memories.
Well, time for the next level. Snack break. Let's roll. Oh, amazing. Huh. Ooh, power pellet.
Yeah, that's it. It was kind of a whole lot of nothing. Um, I mean,
What was that him like rolling? What the heck was that?
yeah, he rolls into a ball in Pac-Man world.
What?
It still doesn't make sense because that's,
Yeah,
but
it doesn't make it's not Sonic.
yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
It floats and does the gobble gobble. Right?
that's what I mean. It doesn't. It's like it doesn't make
It
sense.
looks like it's kind of made for young kids too. Like,
It is, and it's not bad,
I guess.
but yeah, it's just
It
kind
says
of weird.
Pac-Man official, so I guess it's just going to be a web series.
I don't know what it's gonna be. Oh, only on Pac-Man official. Oh, I guess yeah, it's gonna be on. I don't know why they're doing that, but
Well, probably just to see how it does. It's cheaper to do a direct distribute here, especially if they're just going to be a bunch of shorts,
yeah.
right? Than trying to get it on a streaming app or something, right?
Yeah.
YouTube is relatively free compared to Netflix or something like that. So it sounds like it's just going to be shorts like that. Maybe, like I said, maybe just for kids, because that's a huge market. YouTube kid stuff, it's gigantic. So try to tap into that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, the only thing I didn't like was the rolling part. That just looks stupid. But
I mean, yeah, it did look stupid.
It's kind of harmless, I guess. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, the other thing that was announced this week is we're getting a new Star Fox game. And
finally, is it a new game or is it just a revamp of the old game?
That and there is the issue, because it's technically a new game for the Switch 2, right. But in reality, it's just they're literally remaking Star Fox.
Is it at least just updated graphics? Like it looks cool and sleek and.
I mean, yeah, this is Dad. You don't understand. There are no new There hasn't been a new Star Fox game since Star Fox Assault Star Fox Command on the DS. And you want to know why? Because every time they come out, every time they try to make a new Star Fox game, it's essentially just a remake of the original Star Fox game. Like, I'm serious. Like this.
That's what I'm saying. So this is just another remake. It's not a continuation. It's not a new.
No, we haven't gotten a proper continuation for Star Fox since Star Fox Command.
No, maybe they're like, look, it ain't broke. We're not going to try and fix it. Maybe it's one of the few things.
But it is broke because the Star Fox games haven't been selling. That's the problem.
Right, because people are happy with the originals and they don't care.
I mean, that's not true. Obviously, people want more. Like, Star Fox has a pretty dedicated fan base, and they want more content out of Star Fox.
Right. That's my point, though. That's what I'm saying. Maybe, like I said, a lot of times these companies learn the wrong lessons. That's kind of what I'm saying. So.
Well, obviously, because this is literally...
they don't want us to change it. Let's just keep doing the same thing.
Well, Dad, you don't understand. This is the 5th time that they've remade the original Star Fox.
Really?
Yes, because you had Star Fox on the Super Nintendo.
They learned the wrong lessons. I guess they learned the wrong lessons.
But Dad, they had Star Fox on the Super Nintendo, and then they had Star Fox 64, which is, great, but that's also just a remake of the Super Nintendo game.
Right.
And then they had Star Fox Adventures, and that got mediocre reviews. And then they tried to make a proper Star Fox 64 sequel, which I like, but that also got medium reviews. And then the DS came out, and they did a new game, but I guess that got mediocre reviews. So you want to know what they did for the 3DS? They remade Star Fox 64, which is just a remake of the 64 game, which is just a remake of the Super Nintendo game. And what happened when the Wii U came out? Star Fox Zero, which is just a reboot, which is just a reimagining of the 64 game.
At least that's a reimagining.
All they did, it's the same story though. It's the same story, and it's a lot of the same levels.
Listen. They don't learn.
And then that didn't sell. And so now the Switch 2's coming out.
This is the signal they're telling you. We don't know what you want, and we're learning the wrong. We keep thinking you want this because we don't understand you really want this. That's all it is.
I mean, clearly they're not.
Probably just cheaper to just keep reskinning the same game. So.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's like, it's one thing to reuse assets, but it's like, I don't think that's the excuse, because they put so much effort
I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm saying the reason why it's happening is because they learned the wrong lessons. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No, I understand that.
It's just they probably just need better people in charge that has a clue. That's it. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because you would figure Miyamoto would really because this is one of his, creations. You'd figure he'd want to put more effort into
Maybe
building
doesn't
out the
care
Star
about
Fox.
that.
Well, obviously, because there's too much story in Star Fox.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, consider what the things he said about having narratives in video games. Like oh, Mario doesn't need a story, and I think there was some quote. I gotta verify how true it is, but like he said, oh well, kids won't follow the Mario movies with too much story in it, and it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah. So,
But that's an example of what I'm talking about, right? They learned the wrong lessons. You understand? Like, for some reason, his brain is telling him they don't want more story. They want less story. They want the same. Do you understand? So that's what they do because for some reason that's what they believe. Something is telling that, and their brain is reading that as true. Versus what you're saying is, no, we want more story. Expand the universe, and it's like they're just not getting it. So they're wasting money rebooting something they don't have to reboot. That's number one, right? And
for the
two, they
fifth
should
time.
be expanding instead of rebooting, right? They should be expanding. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, they learned the wrong lessons. So,
Yeah, it's
unfortunate.
It's
the burden of when you become a fan of some of these properties and then the creators don't understand why you like it, so they don't give you what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They fail to give you because they don't understand why you like it. They understand you like it, but I think some of these creators think you like it for the same reasons they like it. It's like that's not always true, right? So
yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't want to. I didn't make a big deal out of it because it kind of the Pac-Man thing was kind of a big nothing burger, but the Star Fox thing, like I said, it's the same game that I played 20 years ago, so it's like it's nothing that they've remade 5 times. So it's
going
like
to be on Steam also.
No, it's a Nintendo game. They don't release things.
I don't know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So it's going to be on the Switch.
Yeah, the Switch too. Yeah. So, yeah, you gotta have fun spending $80 on a game.
I know that's the other part. It's like, why am I spending $80 for a game I already have?
Yeah. And from what they showed in the trailer, 30 years ago. Thank you. And what they showed from the trailer, it's the exact same game.
Yes, that's what I mean. It's the exact same game.
So it's like I could just boot up my N64.
That doesn't make any sense.
So
yeah,
it's whatever.
Yeah, man. Anything else?
No, that's really it.
All right, you guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Check out our site, supergalacticfantastic.com. Sign up to our email list to get a free 12-page digital comic. And we're working on a lot of things. We got some more pages in the works. It's a lot going on. I'm experimenting with AI and animation and making more art, and we're working on a coloring book as well. That's in the works. So a lot of things happening. And we thank you for your interest and your support. And hopefully you'll hang out with us and support us. And keep coming back. So, and hopefully next weekend we'll have some guests on. We're going to have a guest, and unfortunately he wasn't able to make it. So hopefully we'll see him next week. We'll see. That's it. Have a super galactic Saturday.
We'll see you around.